So I have two things I want to say about this movie right off the bat here. One, if I was ever in this situation, I wouldn't really die from claustrophobia. I'd probably die because I wouldn't be able to squeeze my NFL lineman's shoulders through these small rock crevices. I'd probably just get stuck there and just die as like a hunched over statue. And second, this movie, give it time. It's going to be a cult classic one of these days. Welcome to Reviews. I'm Chase Lee. I'm here to review As Above, So Below. I always get those two mixed up. I've always said that this is a terrible title for marketing, but when you watch the movie it makes sense, but still. Your target market is teenagers. No teenager is going to say, yo man, let's watch As Above, So Below, man. Like, no one's going to remember the title of the movie like that. So, anyways, we're here to review this movie. So let's break this thing down because I actually thought this was a really, really good horror film, except for a couple aspects, but we'll get to that shortly. The directing. John Eric Dowdle, he directs this movie. He directed films like Quarantine, which I really liked, except for the end because it's in the trailer. And I really like Devil, which he also did. And M. Night Shyamalan did not write it. He just did the story of it, and I actually really like Devil. So, for this one, how does he do? He does fantastic, and I'll tell you why. I'm not claustrophobic, but I can tell you this. These movies like this and like The Descent or anything that's set in like a cave, it just adds that like that extra level of like just tightness and like your heart is racing and like your shortness of breath and like everything is like a mystery because it's dark and like everywhere. Like around every corner, so like when a person's like turning around the camera and it's first person view, it's terrifying. There's a lot of scenes that really got to me, like got really under my skin, and I really give him props for that. Because he created like this eerie location of a horror film, which is in these deep tunnels of Paris, France, and it just adds like I said, the extra level of horror because you don't know what's around the corner. It just adds like the heart is very slow. It's beating really fast and slow again, and like it's exhausting because like I felt like I was there a couple times, and I really liked some of the imagery that he used in this movie. It was just very, very creepy. Gotta give him props for that because it's a horror movie. That's what you're supposed to judge it on. And the way the camera work is in this movie is it's found footage. So, but it's not that bad though. But I'll get to that more in the cinematography. But for the most part, it was that found footage style did not bother me. So the director choosing that as the style, it didn't bother me, like I said. And so, let's see, all that stuff. And then the story. I really, really like the story to this. And there's like a theory that my roommate brought up on the way home. And like, we were talking about it, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, and I really liked the movie and appreciated it a lot more than before. And so the more I started talking about it, the more I really, really liked it. Because this is on the poster, this isn't spoiling anything, but basically when these people go down in these catacombs, they start seeing things from their past. And, that plays a huge part into the movie. And the theory that we kind of like bounce back and forth, it kind of worked, and like I don't want to spoil anything because I just want you to watch this movie and kind of pick it apart like I'm doing. Like I never would have thought I'd pick apart this movie, but there's a lot of mythology that's really great in here, a lot of ideology, and like there's a lot of stuff that it makes you think about the movie, and when you put it in that certain perspective, it just makes the movie like 10 times better and more enjoyable. And so for that regard, the directing is very good on all three of those accounts. The acting, keep this short and sweet. I didn't like it. This is one of the aspects I hated about the movie, but this is like typical of any average horror film. I didn't care for any of the characters. They're all dumb. They all go to these catacombs. They know what's around the corner. I understand curiosity. And some people are more fearless than I am and have bigger balls than me. But most of these characters are stupid. What's that over there? Are you there? Who's there? Come on. Your story is awesome, so get some good actors to at least act decent. So the acting is just that's how I feel about that. Cinematography. Now the cinematography, like I said, it's first person, but the cool thing about it is there's one main camera by the one main dude filming this thing, and then every single person has like a camera on top of their headband, and so you can see the first person view, which makes it creepier in some scenes because when it cuts that angle and like there's a person right here and like they're looking around the corner it's that anticipation that really gets you, and the way it's edited, and the way it's shot, and the way it's directed. There's some scenes that like the anticipation is so bad. Like I know something's coming. I know it's coming. I'm sitting there going, "It's coming. It's coming. Okay. You know it's coming. Okay. All right. And like that. That's what happens. Is like you know it's coming, and then when it does, it still scares the crap out of you, which I like. There's a couple scenes that definitely do that. So the cinematography in that regard, I actually really like it. And like all the lights are on top of the headbands or on the camera that the main guy's holding. That's it. So it makes it even creepier and even just more claustrophobic, and your heart is going slow and going fast. And like, so in that regard, I actually like the found footage style for this film because they actually added a level of creepiness to it. Okay, editing and special effects. So the movie's an hour and a half long, and I'm not gonna lie, every found footage movie has got this. But like the first like 20 minutes or so, they're boring as hell. It's like basically the setup for the entire movie. But once they got into the catacombs, I was sold. So it was like, I think like 20 minutes in is when I was really hooked into the movie. But all the stuff before, I could care less. Yeah, it does add like elements of the story for later on, but like for the most part, it's like, come on, let's get to the catacombs. Let's see some creepy stuff. Let's go. So after the 20-minute mark, it flew by for me. It was paced very well once I got into the catacombs. But before that, a little slow for my taste. The special effects. I don't know what the budget was on this movie, but some of the effects were awesome. They were. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple of sequences where I was just like, "Holy crap, man!" Like, what? Like, I was like, man, the budget must be so low, but like they did a really good job on some of the special effects, and I was kind of astonished that they could do so much inside of a little cave like that they built as a set. It just astonishes me. But overall, I really like the story to this movie. I like the scares. It's creepy. It's claustrophobic. It's cramped. It's just eerie and sticky and dark, and it's just like everything you want a cave movie to be and more. But the acting and some of the dialogue delivery, terrible. And that's the only reason I'm going to dock this thing. This movie, it will mess with your mind. And it reminded me a lot of Silent Hill and like the way their games are perceived and stuff. And so I was telling my roommate that, and like he kind of agrees. So it was a creepy good time, and it's actually one of my favorites. Man, for the past 5 years, I'm not even joking. Like past 5 years, definitely one of my favorite horror films. Even though the acting and the writing is a little, there's a lot of stuff in the story and a lot of stuff that will make you think. To where like it's a very smart horror film, but it's also a very scary one. So it's like the best of both worlds. So that's why I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give this thing a 7.5 out of 10. Very strong 7.5. It's just the acting and the dialogue yeah, that's it. Other than that, I really liked it, and all the points I mentioned, give it like 10, 15 years, this thing's gonna become a cult classic. There's gonna be a small group of people that actually really like this movie, and I'm gonna be a part of that. And I stand by what I just said. So, have you seen As Above, So Below? Comment that place right below my face and let me know. And as always, thanks for watching more reviews. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. See you guys later.